manager of Earth Moves and Nature Education at the Museum of Life and Science.
And let's see, Melissa, I saw you jump on there. Do you want to introduce yourself? Or if we have any other partners on our planning committee for the Durham Bioblitz.
Yeah.
That's Jaylene.
Oh, Jaylene.
Hi, I'm Jaylene Mendoza. I'm the Community Engagement and Garden Coordinator at El Futuro.
Thank you, Jaylene.
Hey everyone, I'm Melissa Amuabang from the Durham Public Schools Hub Farm.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, well, welcome to the Durham Bioblitz. I think that you've, if you're here, you've probably visited our project website, the Durham Bioblitz, and you've found some of the resources that are there, and we'll be mentioning those as we go through the training. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Robert Meehan to get us started with the training on how to use iNaturalist and get started with the Bioblitz.
Good thing. Thanks, Tanya. I'm going to put a brief agenda in the chat just so that we can kind of keep on time here. We have already done the first section, which is the welcomes, the icebreakers. So thank you, Tanya, for that. So today we're going to talk about the iNaturalist app and how we can use it to participate in a Bioblitz. Has anybody here taken part of in a Bioblitz before? Familiar with what a Bioblitz is? No? We can go through just a quick explanation. A Bioblitz simply is a period of time where we can use a community science effort to have people go out into their local green spaces, either city parks, local nature preserves, even their own backyard, and use the iNaturalist app to help catalog the plants and the wildlife that we find there. And in doing so, in a given period of time, we can kind of get a nice snapshot of the life that's living in Durham. I see that I have posted the agenda to the wrong section. There we go. The agenda's in there now. Anyway, apologies. So the agenda's in the chat if you want to see it. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do with this Bioblitz. We're trying to get a snapshot of the plant and animal life that's living here in Durham by participating in the Bioblitz and just taking pictures and uploading them to the iNaturalist app. We can create data points that scientists can use in research, and we can kind of track these data points have been used to kind of track the range, expansion, contraction of various species, migrants, where animals are migrating to, and that sort of thing. So it's a fantastic tool we can use. And to start us off, I think we've got a nice video that Jennifer Wiggin with the Museum of Life and Science has created, and I will shoot it over to her.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. All right, I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Share multiple participants. Share screen. Here we go. All right, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, let's get started.
My name's Steve. I'm an educator.
Nope, that is the wrong video. Hold on one second. There we go. We don't need to talk about floating and sinking, although I can talk to you about that if you need me to.
Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Wiggin with the Museum of Life and Science. Today I want to talk to you about an app called iNaturalist. You can see I've downloaded the iNaturalist app on my phone. When you click on it, you'll go through a quick tutorial on how to use the app. It'll first tell you to observe. To get outside and observe an individual organism, you can pick something wild that's in clear, full frame for a photo. Then iNaturalist will automatically generate suggestions for you to identify what you have just taken a picture of. From here, you get to share your observations with the community, and you can discuss your findings with other people that use iNaturalist. Your observations are also shared with scientists that are working to better understand and protect natural areas in your community. From here, you'll be directed to create an account and log in. It's that easy. And once you get everything set up, you can go ahead and start making observations. All you have to do is click on the Observe Camera button down at the bottom. Here are some beautiful azaleas that are blooming in my yard that I want to document. All I have to do is hit that green button and it'll take a picture. If you're happy with your picture, you can hit next, or you can retake your picture. From here, it's uploaded into this screen. You can see that my picture is at the top, and there's a bunch of information underneath with the date, a location point of where I'm at, and any projects or anything that I'm involved with. From here, what I want to do is click on this box that says, what did you see? When I click here, iNaturalist automatically generates a list of potential identifications for the plant that I took a picture of. You can see that the top choice says that they're pretty sure that this is the genus Rhododendron that I took a picture of. And I can select this as my identification. When I select that, it navigates back to the previous screen, and you can see now that my picture has been identified as that. If everything looks good to you, you can go ahead and share your post. Everything is loading up to iNaturalist as it syncs. And now I can see in my profile, I have one observation. What else is really interesting about iNaturalist is down at the bottom, you can see you have a couple different buttons that you can select. If I select more, I get taken to a screen that says projects and guides. When I click on the projects button, I can see that the project I'm involved with is the Durham-wide Bioblitz for this spring. So any picture that I put up that is in Durham will automatically be linked to this project. When you click on the Durham-wide Bioblitz, you can see all the other entries that other people in the area have made. Have fun using iNaturalist.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was, we made that video at the beginning of quarantine and it's been super helpful and everything to have going forward for all of these. I'm happy all the usage has been able to get.
All
Now,
right.
how do I find that app?
I am actually going to drop that in the chat right now.
Oh, good.
So has everybody gotten a chance to download the app ahead of time? Is there anybody who hasn't? If you need to know where to download the app, it's just in your app store or anything like that.
And what do I look up? Do I look up iNaturalist?
Just look up iNaturalist. Just gonna put it in the chat there. I can probably find the link to the app store, but it's probably best to just use whatever app store app you have on your phone to go and find it. If you could real quick download it as we're going through the rest of the tutorial here. We are, as part of this training, we're going to ask y'all in about 15 minutes to go out into your own backyard or workspace or wherever you are right now and make some observations live. So if you haven't downloaded the app, go ahead and search it in your app store now, and then we will get going from there. For now, we're going to go ahead and do a live tutorial. The tutorial you just saw on Jennifer's screen was the Apple version of the app. So I'm going to show you the Android version, but they're both very similar. I'm attempt to share screen here, and y'all let me know if you can see my phone. Yes?
Yes.
Cool. This is my phone screen. It's live. I'm actually scrolling. Look at that. And this is the screen that you get to whenever you log into the iNaturalist app or whenever you click on iNaturalist from your phone screen. This is the screen you get taken to. It's a kind of summary of all your observations that you've seen. And there's a lot of other cool things we can look at that we might get to towards the end of this tutorial. But right now we're going to focus on how do you actually input an observation into iNaturalist. And it's actually really easy. There's a big green button, big plus sign on the bottom right side of my screen, and that's all we click to get started. Click that button, you get taken to this screen, and you have a couple of options. You can either take a photo from right in the app. The green take photo button allows you to open up your camera from within the app and actually take the picture right there. You can also, if you don't have like internet where you are, or you want to go out and make a bunch of observations all at once and then come home later, you can also choose the choose image button and upload anything in your previous photos. And that's what we're going to be doing today, because I went out just in my own backyard here. I live in like a very urban part of Durham, and when I say backyard, it's really a gravel parking lot with some plants on the edges. But even still, I was able to find like a couple of bugs and to take a picture of. So we're gonna see what I've got here. I'm gonna upload an image and walk you through everything. So the first couple of things that I've taken a picture of here that I'm really interested in, I found a cool spider. So we're gonna use that picture. And we can zoom in on this so you guys can kind of see that. This is I don't know what kind of spider it is. It's red. It's got big little pedipalps in the front. And I'm very interested to find out what it is. So 2 notes here. One is that my location is currently not active. I don't have the location active on my phone. If you ever upload a picture that doesn't have location, you can enter the location through this system. But if you have the location turned on with the iNaturalist app, which I think it automatically asks you to turn it on when you download the app, this location is automatically filled in. So you don't have to do this, but I'm just showing you just in case you want to. All you have to do is search for where you are. I happen to live in Trinity Park in Durham, and it comes up, and that looks good. You'll see that the date and time automatically were entered in. A lot of information is automatic. This, however, is not automatic. When you upload the picture, what you want to do in the top is click "What did you see?" And using a photo recognition algorithm, the iNaturalist app will kind of guess at what you saw. And usually it gives you as precise of a group of animals or plants as it possibly can. In this case, it's kind of identified it down to genus level. It thinks the spider is in the genus Florinda, which is a cool name of a genus. I've never heard of the genus Florinda before. And it's also got some guesses as to what species it might be. Kind of ranked guesses. It thinks it might be the black-tailed red sheetweaver, which you can see underneath the genus there. But I'm not sure. I'm not a spider expert. But there are spider experts out there. And if I click on what the app thinks it is, the observation will kind of go to the right people. It'll go to the spider people, the people who know this sort of thing, and they will help confirm or change the observation. They can say, oh, it's not the genus Florinda, it's some other genus, or hey, it is, and I think it's actually this species. And in doing so, after a couple of these experts kind of agree on what the observation is, it will actually become a confirmed data point within iNaturalist, and that can actually be used for scientific research. But this is not going to be confirmed yet. Actually have to get it into the app, and in doing so, all you got to do, once you accept the genus identification, click the green check button, and it will go ahead and upload, and all of a sudden it's uploading my observation of a Florinda genus spider. So that's pretty cool. But sometimes you don't know exactly what you're looking at. And so we're going to do one more and kind of see if the app can help us figure out what I'm looking at. I found this plant that kind of had this weird bulb in the middle of it, which I think might be some kind of a gall wasp or some kind of an insect. So I'm wondering if it is. You can see this kind of bulge right there. So we'll see if the app actually figures it out, or maybe it's just a feature of the plant. I don't know. We're going to find out here. This is the cool thing with iNaturalist is you can just find out. You can enter something that you don't know, and the app will kind of help you figure it out what it is. So again, I was in Trinity Park when I took this picture, and that looks good to me. And we'll see what I found, or what the app thinks I found anyway. So this is not confident. This is not confident here to figure out what I've found. It doesn't even have a genus level observation, and that is okay. I was kind of thought that this might happen. In this case, what we want to do is search for, in the search bar up top here, as concise of a group of animals or plants that we think it is. In this case, I'm not very sure at all. and that is okay. I can type in something really general, like I think this is a plant. And sure enough, the group plant shows up here. This is at least going to get the observation over to the right people. It's going to get it over to the plant people, the people who know plants, and they're going to be able to hopefully tell me what it is. If you have an insect you don't know, but you think it's an insect, you can type insects. If you have a bird, you can say it's a bird. Or a snake, you can say it's a snake, and it will get to the right people. As long as you put something in there. The only thing that you should not do is put nothing. But I think it's a plant. And so we're going to upload my plant observation, and hopefully somebody can help me figure out what it is. So that's kind of the long and short of it. Does anybody have any questions right off the bat, or anything else that I can show you? Is there anything in the chat? If there's something in the chat, can y'all let me know, Tanya and Jennifer?
Yes, Robert, there's a question. Should you write a note that you aren't sure? Or how should you indicate that you're not sure?
I think having a very general observation, such as plants, indicates you're not sure, but there's no harm in writing a note for any extra information. That just gives extra information to the people in the know. I think that's totally fine. Yeah. Any other questions?
There's a question about who is going to be reviewing these observations. Are they actual people?
Yes, these are actual people. We, as part of the Durham Bioblitz, have kind of gone out to our local experts, people that we know in the community kind of know these things, our local plant experts, our local insect experts, and kind of asked them to help us out during this Bioblitz, and go through the list of observations that have been seen on a regular basis to help us identify these things more precisely. However, iNaturalist also has a really robust community of really passionate people who are really passionate about nature. And even during a non-BioBlitz time, there are plenty of people who are out there who are just willing to help you out, who are really passionate about IDing things down to species. And so it doesn't matter if you're in a BioBlitz, there's still people willing to help.
And we have another question. What if you see something that you'd like to log, but you don't have a picture of it?
That's a good question. I can show you what's available here. Again, just pressing the green check button. There's a couple of things you can do. You can, for example, record sounds. You can either record sound from right in the app, and I think this might only be on the Android version. I apologize, it might not be in the Apple version yet.
Apple just updated iNaturalist, and we can now record sound with it.
Great. Wonderful. Okay, so this is going to be good for everybody. So if you look on the bottom of the screen here, you can see record sound or choose sound. This is the same as earlier. You can either record sound from right in the app or choose sound recording that you have already previously recorded. There's also an option for no media up in the top left corner there, which I guess you could enter in just some notes of something you saw, which is fine. I think that without a picture, without some kind of media, that the observation can never really be confirmed by somebody else. So it'll upload to your app, but it may stay a casual observation. It may not be a good data point unless there's actual photo or sound associated with it. Anybody else? Cool.
Oh, one other thing, Robert, I think that we have mentioned in the past is that you can actually add multiple pictures. So if you want to get a species from a couple of angles, which is actually a little bit easier when it's a plant or a slow moving creature, but that can be really helpful with the ID when you have
I can do that right now with one more. For example, I've got a little caterpillar that I pictured here. If I click on it and hold the observation, you see that becomes a check button, and I've got kind of more pictures of it. These pictures aren't very good, but you know, they help. They could be from multiple angles or something like that. And so you can apply multiple. Again, that's just a click and hold does that. And I open them all and they all import at the same time. That's actually good. I wanted to figure out what this caterpillar was anyway. A little inchworm kind of thing. You can see somebody was mentioning the notes section earlier. You can type the notes in here if you're interested. Yet again, I need to update the location. Again, if you have location services open in the app, this is going to autofill for you. You don't have to worry about it. And there, good. And let's see if this helps figure out what my caterpillar is. Little inchworm guy. It actually gets it down to a subfamily, which is kind of cool. The Enomini. Sweet. Let's click that. That's better than I thought the app was going to do. This app surprises me all the time with how good it is at predicting species.
Hey, Robert, could you
Yes.
go, well, I don't know if you can go back to that one, but what's nice is if you do upload multiple pictures of something from different angles, and let's say you maybe get 2 or 3 different identifications and you're not sure because they all kind of look similar, you can then search, you can highlight the main picture it'll search by and kind of compare to see, oh, the top one's always the top one. So it's always identifying it as this. I'm going to go with this one. And it's just a nice way of doing it, especially like I always photograph like mushrooms from the bottom side to get the gills, from the top and the side, because it's just helpful for identification purposes that way. So you can select which picture you actually go through, and I find that to be really helpful too.
Great, thanks, Jennifer. That's an excellent tip.
We do have. Oh, go ahead, Robert.
Sure. Yeah, no, just one more tip is, for example, with this caterpillar picture, is to crop it as much as you can. I have a couple of these caterpillars that's like not cropped very well, right? But if you crop it a little better, it can kind of help people see a little closer, and you can do that within your phone. That's all I wanted to mention. Crop and zoom, very good tip for iNaturalist. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so there are 2 ways that you can add a picture. Either you can take it live within the app, in which case I don't know that you have an opportunity to crop it. Or you can take the picture with your phone, crop it, make it look exactly how you want it, and then upload it to the app. And then you can even do that after the fact, so you don't have to do all of that in the field.
Yeah, you can come home and upload your pictures later after you've taken a long hike or something like that, which that's how I like to do it, but I understand other people like to do it differently.
Yeah. So we do have some questions in the chat. One question, are we still using the 2020 Durham Bioblitz project? And the answer to that is no, we're using the 2021 Durham Bioblitz project. So when you go into projects, and if you search for Durham Bioblitz, you will see both of them, and you're welcome to join both of them so that you can actually see what was observed last year. But this year, what we're working on for the period October 15th through the 30th is the Durham 2021 Bioblitz.
Yeah, and I kind of, as Tanya was talking about that, went through the motions of finding the Durham 2021 Bioblitz, and I can show you again as you do this. If you open the hamburger icon in the top left of your screen, which may be different on iPhone, I think. But it takes you to this kind of menu. If you click on projects and then in the top right, the magnifying glass, and search for Durham Bioblitz, should pop up with something. In this case, you can see last year's Bioblitz, but also this one, which is not active yet. It is going to be active tomorrow, starting tomorrow, I believe, early in the morning. So we can start taking observations then. You can join this Bioblitz by clicking the join button in the left side of the screen. And once you do that, you will see that as you go back to your projects, you'll see that the Durham Bioblitz is listed as a join project already. And so it makes it a lot easier to navigate. However, you don't have to join the project for your observations to be counted. Any observation that is taken during the project period of April 15th to April 30th and within the confines of Durham County, the Durham County line, anything in that area during that project time is automatically going to be counted towards the Bioblitz. But it is really cool. I can show you the previous Bioblitz that we took part of. We did one in the fall just within the confines of the Ellerby Creek watershed. You can see the people that participated and the observations and all the species that they found. And so it is a really cool way to see what was found, who's finding stuff, what is kind of being found in your local area. So it is, and then there's like a bunch of statistics. It's really easy to geek out about it if you're able. But this Durham Bioblitz 2021, that's what we want to focus on. And again, any observation is automatically going to be counted towards it starting tomorrow.
Great. Okay, we have a few more questions. On the observation where we weren't sure if it was an insect gall or a plant, if you weren't sure, but you entered insect gall instead of plant, then it might just get the attention of some of our specialists who are confirming the observations that, oh, this is an insect observation that we might want to have looked at. Whereas if you had said plant, the insect identifiers might not pay attention to it. So that's the only thing. If you enter something, if you enter a name that is not what it is, it just might not get the attention of the person who can confirm what it is.
One thing you can do in this case, and hopefully this is going to work out as I show you, if this could be an insect gall or a plant, what I can do is duplicate the observation by clicking in the top right corner and click duplicate observation. And then this is going to come back to the same screen again. And this time around, I can suggest insect, because I took a picture of maybe an insect and also almost certainly a plant. If I type in insects, then insects almost show up if I type it correctly. I'm doing very badly at typing today. I apologize. This happens with technology. All right, there's the insects. And I can select that and click yes. And now if I go to my main screen again, I should have two observations of the same thing. As you can see, one with insects, one with plants. So that's a good way to do it if you're kind of unsure about what it may be.
And one other thing that I find helpful when I'm trying to identify something, when it gives you a list of possible suggestions, you can click on more information about that suggestion, and then you can look at the pictures that have already been confirmed for that species, and that might help you narrow it down to say, oh yeah, that does look like what I'm seeing, I'm going to select that one, or no, there's definitely some features that are not similar, so that one's not on my list of options. And that might just help you figure out what to select. And there's absolutely nothing bad that will happen if you misselect. It will just get corrected by one of the specialists, so don't be worried, you can't break the system.
Here's some of that more information that Tanya was talking about, and that is the great thing about, I think, the iNaturalist app, is how it naturally, by the nature of its community and how it's set up, kind of course corrects itself, so that the correct observation is arrived at. And I think it's a very important thing, like within the scientific community as a whole, that some people may disagree. Sometimes there's, long lists of people saying, oh, I think it's this, oh, I think it's that. But at the end of the day, there is a consensus, and that's what's important for these data points, is that consensus.
Okay, great. We have another question. If I see numerous species of something, do I upload multiple times? And we don't have a hard and fast suggestion on that, but if they're in different locations, it can be helpful for us to know, the multiple places where that is found. If it's something that's super ubiquitous to Durham, it's probably not necessary, but it's really up to you whether you want to log it multiple times.
I would say avoid logging the same individual multiple times, but if it's different individuals of a given species, I say, do whatever you like.
Okay, and then we have a question about blocking location. If you don't want to share the location, say it's at your home and you don't want to share your home address, how can you adjust that?
You could be as general as possible. If I wanted to submit something and you want to turn off your location settings with the app, you can do that in your app settings. Say we're to choose an image and try and upload something else here. I got a picture of, I don't know, here's like an ant or something that I found. Was not a very good picture. I can take the location here and I can set it to something pretty general. For example, last time I set it to Trinity Park and it just went to the whole neighborhood. If I wanted to, I could say something like Durham County. Oop, County Durham, UK. Let's see if I can say County Durham in C. There we go. I say Durham County in C, or you say Durham City or something like that. You can be as general as you like.
Yeah, you do need to have the location setting off though. It's
Yes.
at least for the Apple version, if you have your location settings on, you can generalize it, but it tends to want to pinpoint wherever that picture was taken, if you have the settings turned on.
Yeah.
And if you take the photos in the field, then go home to upload, oh, you will need to manually change. Oh, will you need to manually change the date and time? If you have the date and time feature set for your pictures, I think it will.
Yeah, it automatically keeps the date and time of the picture if that's set up on your phone.
Same with the location setting, I believe. If the location is on in your photos, if your location setting is on in photos, I think it geotags the photos as well.
Yep.
So yeah, that will all auto-populate. Again, if any of those settings are turned off, you will have to do it manually.
Yep.
And then we have a question about if I'm out exploring and use iNaturalist, but not part of the Durham Bioblitz, I don't want to send. You can upload information from anywhere that you are, and it will either, if it's in the Durham area, it will go into the Durham Bioblitz during this period of time. But if you're, in another state or another city and you want to use the app, absolutely go for it. And it will just automatically log it to Durham Bioblitz if it meets the parameters that we've set for it.
Yeah, I used it in Carolina Beach all weekend down at Carolina Beach State Park, taking pictures of different things. So I actually really have a good time using it outside of Durham just to identify and see what else I find.
Yeah. And once you upload your picture to the app, you don't need to keep the picture if you're worried you'll suddenly have so many pictures on your phone, which we all do.
Yeah.
But there's no need. Once you upload it to the app, it'll be stored in the app. And so you don't need to keep it on your phone or on your tablet.
Yeah. And the app just is a cloud, and those will be there. I mean, I've got pictures here going back years and years, and none of these are stored on my phone. They're all stored on the cloud within the app. Cool. Any other questions?
These are really great questions.
Yeah, I know. I'm very happy. This is a good group.
Yeah, I think we hit them all. If you put a question in the chat and I didn't call it out, please feel free to unmute and ask it. Do I want to do a practice and then answer any questions about actually using the app that people experience?
I think I do. Yeah, let's do it. So at this point, guys, we'll ask y'all to take about 10 minutes. Just go out into your yard, your backyard, your front yard, your office if you're at the office still, and just find some life. Find a plant, find a bug. I tend to find that if I find a plant or a bush or a tree or a shrub or something and I start looking really closely, I can find all of a sudden the insect life living there. I can find the ants crawling on the trees, maybe tending the aphids, a spider that's waiting to eat some kind of bugs. So I just urge you to look closely, flip over a rock, see what's down there. So just take about 10 minutes, go out into your yard, use the app, make an observation, upload it, and then we'll return here at say 4:47 is 10 minutes from now, 4:47, and we'll answer any questions you have, see if there's any issues, do some troubleshooting if you had any issues with the app. So yeah, take 10 minutes and we'll see you back here in 10.
Robert, are you there?
I am. I'm ready to answer any questions.
Yeah. Let me get my face in here. I'm the one who just got the app, and maybe I made a mistake. I used a common password, one that I use all the time for things that don't matter. And when I put it in, it said that it didn't work. So now I pushed forgot password, and it can't download the page of the forgot password series of steps. So I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah. Had you created the account already, or have you not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I would. Do you have access to a computer?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Okay. Try accessing iNaturalist on the computer.
Yeah, I did. Go ahead.
And is it not working on the computer side of things too?
No, it's there. So you're thinking if I try to log into the iNaturalist site with my
on the computer?
Yeah,
try the forgot password thing there.
Yeah, here we go. Log in. Okay, I'll give that a try. Thank you. I'll get back to you if it doesn't work.
Right. Sounds good.
Thanks. It's Martha again. It's weird because it works online. I'm in and I said, remember me, and I use the exact same password in my phone and it says, oops, incorrect username or password, but I'm looking at the username and it's correct too.
Just try the password again. Especially if there's make sure if you have any capitalizations, capitalizations and things like that.
Yeah, I did them. Maybe
I just sometimes I mess up sometimes and I didn't realize it. I'd just try it again, see if it works.
Okay.
This time.
I wonder if would it make sense to throw it away from get rid of it out of my phone, or at least close down and try to get in again?
It's possible that would help. I don't know if it would make a difference, but we could definitely try it.
Yeah. To close one, I just double click my button, like no. All right.
Robert, I saw my first turtle today.
Wonderful. Box turtle.
Actually a slider, I think.
Oh, slider.
Yep. Really little guy, probably like no bigger than the palm of my hand.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
He had gotten out into earth moves and some little kids found him and they were like, this is not his habitat. I was like, this is not his habitat. Let's relocate him.
That's great. Some of those, I don't know what size the sliders reach maturity at. But it could be pretty small. It might be a female, like, trying to lay her first batch of eggs or something. I don't know.
I just relocated her. We have like a little retention pond and everything out there near earth moves. And so I just kind of stuck her near that and got her out of the main traffic area.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm sure she'll find her way.
Yep.
So while we're waiting, can I just chat?
Oh yeah.
Sure thing. Absolutely.
I joined you last year for the first time, and I had so much fun walking in my neighborhood and getting all the flowers in the ditch. And
wonderful.
I found some really cool stuff. There was a wild potato vine that I thought was a morning glory. Wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, that was cool. And my sister sent me stuff from when she was hiking in the mountains in Idaho. So I identified a parsnip flower buckwheat for her. That was cool.
Wonderful.
That's so cool.
I think that's my favorite thing about the iNaturalist app is just being able to put a name to all the stuff that is already around you. That's the thing that I found was the most fascinating anyway.
Yeah, I was actually teaching a class today and we walked by something and one of the participants was like, what is that? I was like, I don't know, but I can tell you.
No.
I just went up there and took 3 pictures and put it in and I was like, it's a red buckeye.
act like you know. It's important.
Yeah.
I mean, I had time on my hands last year, so as I was weeding, I stopped and I took the picture of every weed because they all have their season in the garden, right? So the first 2 I took were common.
Yeah.
Like, yep, they're everywhere in my garden.
Yep.
That was neat. Anyway, so thank you for playing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I hope you find some more cool stuff this year.
Yeah. I want to try to pick a quadrant and try to do all different kinds of things. I just stuck with plants last year, so
yeah,
up my game. We'll see.
My thing during quarantine was kind of just cataloging just everything I could find in my yard, like right around my yard, especially at night. I have a light that I keep on that often attracts a variety of insects. And over the last couple of years, I've been able to, using iNaturalist, been able to identify about 1,000 species living in my yard.
How do you get a picture? I mean, because there was a white butterfly out there, and of course it didn't light. It was checking this no, this no, this no, and it's hard to get a picture of them moving.
It is, yeah. I have an actual camera that I use, which makes things a little easier.
Oh, okay.
And Melissa asked me to explain that once everybody gets back a little bit about how I do that. But that makes things a little easier, and I use the desktop version of iNaturalist to upload everything that way.
Okay, yeah.
So
curious.
I though don't have a camera other than my phone, but I just use the burst function on your phone. So let me pull it up.
I don't have an iPhone. I have no idea what a burst function is.
All I know is that like when I pull my like camera to the side here, it's just taking photos right now. And so it'll take like 50 photos in a few seconds. Then I can go through, and that sometimes is really helpful because generally one of them is always in focus.
Oh my gosh.
So that's actually what I do with mine.
Then you have to go back and delete the other 49.
Yeah.
It's actually it's pretty easy. Like they've made it like pretty straightforward. You just actually pick the one you want. It deletes everything else. So like it's not like they're separate files. It's like all one picture, and you just go in and say I want picture 32, and like that's all it does. I also find that sometimes I'll take a video and then take a screenshot of a specific point in the video if I think it's like good to try and get an image that way.
That's getting things. The other thing I did was follow to Milo Pine, who I know well, sort of well now, but in 1994 was my 95, spring of 95, was my guide on my pump station walk, my first natural hike in North Carolina. So, but I follow him, and then I've actually gone on a hike after he went on one and reported a bunch of stuff to see if I could find him too.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to do it also.
Jennifer, you just mentioned the burst mode. This is new to me. I just found out how to do it on my phone.
Oh, nice.
That's all I did was I just held the picture button down and just took like 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures all of a sudden. I said, wow.
It's super. So I figured out how to do it. I have an almost 5-year-old. So like getting her.
I can imagine. No, the best part of it was that, and Susan, you might find this useful, is that when I went to delete the pictures, it said, do you want to delete all 6 of them? So if you take 50 pictures, you might just be able to delete all 50 of them after you upload it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, once you store it in the cloud,
it'll come back, I assume. There you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, cool.
Julie has a question. You search Durham.
I lead a early.
Yeah, sorry, Jennifer, are you there?
Oh no, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, no, I just Julie had a question. You searched Durham on your phone and Sweet Yale Drive showed up. Is I don't necessarily know if that's an issue, as long as the location in the app, when the app under the location heading, as long as that just says Durham, I think it counts for the general Durham area.
Mm-hmm.
The yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. One thing I do, I wonder if I can show this, because this is something I did not show. I'm gonna share screen real quick. See if this works. It does say Durham. Okay, that's good. I'm going to show you one other thing that could be useful. Okay, that's still on. Good. All right. Can you see my phone again? I'm going to try this. I'm going to upload something real quick and choose image. This is going to be an example, so I'll delete it afterwards, so it doesn't matter what I upload. And then I come in here to the location. I type Trinity Park. For the ease of just showing y'all, I didn't worry about changing it too much. You can actually move this around wherever you want it to be. What you can also do is either make it bigger or smaller, right? So the size of the reticle there is the size of the area that it's kind of showing generally, right? And I can make it more precise by zooming in and the reticle is smaller, or I can make it bigger by zooming out. And at least then you have like the approximate area, and this could be anywhere, and I could change it to Old West Durham. And it says Old West Durham now. You can change it to George Watts, or Watts Hillendale, Watts Hospital Hillendale, sorry. And it says Watts Hospital Hillendale now. So that's an option, at least, so you tag it to your neighborhood or whatever. So that's all.
Robert, something I wanted to also highlight, I noticed with using iNaturalist, since Apple has just updated it, is that it automatically now has a filter that's turned on that only shows you matches that are similar to other observations that have been made in your area. Great. So before that wasn't on, and you could get anything under the sun that they thought it might be, but now it's even fine-tuned it a little bit more, that it will only give you observations that have been seen in the Durham area when you're putting something up. And you can take that off if you want to, if you don't think any of them are right, but that kind of helps me when I'm determining what I'm seeing, if there's something that's visibly similar and seen nearby, I'm like, that's probably more than likely what it is versus something that hasn't been seen nearby.
I think the the algorithm itself doesn't necessarily differentiate between whether or not it's been seen in your area or not, but it will definitely tag it if it's been if it's been seen in your area. So that is a big help.
Yep.
Did anybody else have any issues with the app? What did people find out there? Anybody want to share something that they found that they thought was cool?
I found a thin-legged wolf spider.
Ooh, that is
That was the first thing I turned around and saw.
Anybody else? Anybody have any issues? Hopefully nobody had too many issues. Somebody in the chat, Kim saw a Tiarella cordifolia. That sounds like some kind of a plant, but I don't know which plant.
I don't know either. Now I need to look it up.
Really cool. Who else? We got anybody else who saw something? A foam flower. Oh, okay, foam flower. Cool.
Ooh, very nice.
Excellent. See, I'm glad. I love that the app can identify that, just based off a picture. So let's see. Stop share here.
If foam flower was in your garden, aren't you supposed to check cultivated?
You can, yeah, if it's other people may check cultivated for you. Yeah. It'll, like I said, iNaturalist is a great app at working itself out, when it comes to that sort of thing. Julia's got a Bignonia vine blooming, which is cool. Yeah, so I guess if we're all back, there's just one thing I wanted to hit, one more thing, which Melissa had asked about just as we went off, and that is regarding iNaturalist on the desktop, which is totally something you can do if you're interested. And I'm going to go ahead and share screen again. Let's see here. Share the screen. Okay, so this is the desktop version of iNaturalist, and it works an awful lot like the phone version, except if you go out and take pictures with your actual camera and edit them at home and anything like that, you can bring them up into the iNaturalist app here. And for example, I can click my upload button right there, and that allows me to choose the files. And we can just find something that I put on my desktop from a while ago. For example, here's a picture I took on vacation in California. Let's see if it can properly identify this picture. Oh, it kind of can't. It actually automatically updated with the title of the file that I updated. But at least it gets it down to the correct genus, which is Balanoptera. This is a blue whale that I saw in San Diego last year. Or last year was COVID. The year before. Can't keep it straight. Regardless, but it's a very similar thing. It'll allow you to choose the location on the map, search the map, update that. The thing that I really like about this is that if you were to upload multiple pictures, which I can do real quick, just as an example, I can upload like 3 pictures here. One of the things you can do is select all if you're all in one place and change all the locations at once with your phone, with your pictures you took with your an actual camera, and then and that uploads, that just changes everything. So that I like that feature, but that's just something to show you that you can do it another way. Kim, you put yours to your app to Durham, your location to Durham, and it also said Sweet Gale Drive. Well, somebody who lives at Sweet Gale Drive is about to have a bunch of Durham observations at their house. But yeah. Has anybody else got any questions about iNaturalist, either using it on the phone, using it on the computer app, anything like that? Good. Well, I think that's right on time. right about our time. Do we want to do any announcements real quick? We've got some really cool events coming up. If you want to check our events, you can go to www.durhambioblitz.org is the website we've got there. That was to the wrong people. I'm going to do it to everybody. www.durhambioblitz.org. All right, that link right there, that brings you to the Bioblitz website that Keep Durham Beautiful has been updating, and we've got some events on there, some in-person events. If you want to find somewhere with an event that you're interested in, we're doing some brief in-person events, usually only a couple hours long, all socially distanced, all masked up kind of thing. So check that out if you want to sign up. I think all of our project partners have events up there. Do we have any other? Tanya's posted the direct link to the events. Thank you, Tanya. Perfect. Does anybody else have any announcements among the project partners?
I would just say share with your friends. The more observations
Yeah.
you have, the more meaningful all of this data will be.
Great. Well, I hope we get a lot of observations out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you all for joining us. This meeting has been recorded, so we can we send out links to folks
Sure.
after the fact, just so you can spread that link around. I think anybody else would be interested, and we can maybe also put this up on the Bioblitz website, or at least a link to it. But yeah, it starts tomorrow, everybody. Bioblitz 2021 starts tomorrow, and I'm very excited, and I hope we find a lot of cool things out there.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you all.
Thanks.
And
Bye.
Bye.
have fun out there.